guys, I'm Solidus-Skully and welcome back to the penultimate part of the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories commentary. We might be losing our memories, but we're finishing this tonight, goddammit! Unlike the last time when I said we were finishing this tonight, this time it's for real! Dun 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 dun. But yeah, this is the final world, Castle Oblivion in its entirety. Ish, basically, since it's a reconfigured version of... Actually, what is Eriquis's castle called in... I know it's in the Land of Departure, but what's it called? Is it just called Castle Eriquis? The Keyblade... the Hall of Heroes? Screw it. Either way, because of the fact that things are getting a little bit more intense, the finale is coming, and a storm is brewing. So, of course, we need a sagely word of wisdom from Goofy, I think I did mention this way back, but... yeah, this is around about the point in the series where Goofy started becoming, well, a wise, sagely dude of wisdom, which, to be honest, I kinda like. Wisdom always comes from the most unexpected places, and... well, he keeps Donald and Sora from ripping each other's throats out. He's the bass player of their rockin' trio, you know? He's the backbone of the music, and he keeps them, you know, he keeps them rockin', dude. And, yeah, we also get one hell of an awesome ability, Trinity Limit. Basically, if you have one friend card of Donald, one friend card of Goofy, plus an attack card, you get Trinity Limit, which absolutely devastates the enemy. Now, I did have to significantly cut this down for the sake of, you know, pacing, and, also in terms of, you know, shortening this world, because as you will soon see with the map screen, yeah, this is a beefy level. And, for the sake of not stumbling like a dumbass like I did with the previous two parts, and possibly this one if I don't play my cards right. Excuse me. Just had a delicious meal. But yeah, it's a little bit shorter, and this will be a much longer sort of level if you're playing the game for yourself. But regardless of such, I do think there is a lot to Castle Oblivion as a level that does make it a very interesting place. First of which being the new enemies we face here, Neo Shadows, creatures that I believe were seen right at the tail end of Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, and I think initially only only being seen in the secret movie of Kingdom Hearts 1, where the mysterious blonde-haired kid was facing off against them. Neo Shadows are powerful, but again, they're basically more like a middle-tier sort of goon, so... more powerful than a regular Shadow, has a cool design, but still nothing you should really worry about that much. If there's anything that I can say about Castle Oblivion as a final level, I really like it. Like, I mean, in terms of Kingdom Hearts final levels, this is one of my personal favorites, if only for the fact that Castle Oblivion has this eerie atmosphere about it. Like, I mean, it's probably not really well sold here with the music, but I mean, in Chain of Memories, you know, it really does feel very off-kilter, and I think even in the GBA version itself, you can still see, you know, the very plain white textures, and wandering around a bunch of corridors that look the same. This, you know, this could be a very nightmarish place, and, to go into a little bit of the mythology here, considering that this is Castle Eriquis, I do apologize if any fans can correct me on that, I humbly appreciate it, but yeah, this is basically a defense mechanism. This was set up by Aqua because, well, let's just say the castle's occupant is buried deeply within someplace around here. In fact, although, to kind of bring up Ventus for a second, I'm kind of surprised that his heart isn't exactly reacting strongly here. I guess maybe it wasn't time for him to awaken, but who knows really. Oh my god, it's Marluxia, and she's coming... well, he's coming after... he's coming... wait, I'm just completely confusing my sentences, excuse me. He is going after Naminé. Man, that was weird. Maybe Castle Oblivion is doing something to my mental faculties. The next memory is to go to the speech center, which is kind of terrible since I need that for commentary. But regardless of such, I don't know, I really do like this level. It's, ambient, and I'd say compared to End of the World, it isn't quite as dire, or Kingdom Hearts 2, where, you know, there is a growing sense of finality. Here, it's just a very eerie atmosphere that I think kind of feels fitting of the sort of turmoil that Naminé faced, you know, being alone in a place that is so completely alien. And even the organization members themselves, particularly Marluxia, who, at the very least in his nobody form, always had kind of a creepy vibe about him. I mean, I did kind of talk about it in jest with, you know, the choke me daddy Marluxia remark with Naminé, which was fucking terrible. My mind's seen too many vile things it has. But I mean, and again, maybe I'm just basing it off his voice, in you know, the English dub at the very least, but Marluxia is, well, creepy dude. And then again, he does kind of have the whole symbolism thing going for him with, you know, death, scythes, and the symbolism of the cherry blossom, which, you know, while you can go tee-hee hoddle ha, he wears pink, in Japanese folklore, that is meant to be symbolic of death, so, yeah, that just makes cherry blossoms all the more lovely to think about. Also, if I could just comment right here, I really do love the battle theme in Castle Oblivion. Like with a lot of other tracks in the game, the GBA sound chip doesn't quite do this one justice. In fact, if there's anyone that I think you should listen to, I recommend you listen to the one on the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix for the PS3 version, because holy hell, that is a very sweet-tasting remix. Especially since, and actually you can even hear it right at the end of these sorts of videos, because I usually have the, like, ending music stinger. Yeah, that's the version on the HD 1.5 mix, and it is glorious. Especially with the backing choir. I don't know, it just adds a little something in my opinion. And it's here where we come to learn Axel's true motives. He was working for the organization the whole time, doing his best to weed out the traitors, killing, Luxine, you know, basically taking out the trash. Axel in this game is basically nothing more than a mafia hitman. Even though that doesn't exactly explain why he killed Vexen, but that is also revealed in Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days as to why exactly he was doing it. Now, which I suppose, to interject a little bit, has, let's just say that Axel was planning his own takeover of the organization with another member known as Syx. Why exactly he wanted to take over the organization? We still don't really know that, because, I mean, according to Kingdom Hearts 3, him and Isa, as they were known then, were basically trying to free a girl who was in Ansom's castle. At this stage, it's only Subject X. At this point, I'm gonna speculate that it's maybe Skuld from Union Cross, or possibly the player character. I'm not entirely too sure, and I'll probably be proven wrong by the time Kingdom Hearts 4, or whatever current spin-off game comes out, but that's interesting to see Axel having his own motivations here, and while he is playing up the, well, sadistic assassin motif here, he's a good guy, despite his lack of emotions. And again, he's an evil bastard trying to take out another evil bastard, so the enemy of my enemy is my frenemy in the anemone? Whatever. Anyway, I did kind of cut this all down for time, so yeah, I was skipping over a large chunk of the level. Basically what you have to do is have like 99 map cards and whittle that down. It will take a little while, but, you know, at least in the sense that you get to grind up some experience before you go up against Axel, because let me tell you, be prepared for hell, dudes and dudettes, because Axel is nobody to scoff at. I mean, seriously, you might have faced him before, like, way earlier on in the game, but that was then, this is now, and he will not hold back. Despite the fact that you have a connection to his, best buddy Roxas. And of course, we see Marluxia being creep-tastic as ever by using a human shield with Nomine. I think you can no wait, I need to use my catchphrase, and I think we all know where this is headed. Why the hell did I fashion that into a catchphrase? In fact, why the hell did I fashion Keep It Nu Metal as a catchphrase? It's just random words that I used to say a lot and it stuck over the years. How utterly bizarre. So yeah, Marluxia being a sneaky bitch is manipulating Sora. Once more. You know, then again, I suppose this really is more of a factor of Sora being very simple-minded and going, oh, well, if Marluxia says so, then it must be true, and Axel being a... Actually, I'm not even sure what Axel's motive is here, really, because, like, I mean, he still wants Marluxia taken out, so I can only guess that Axel just wanted to have a fake fight with Sora so that he would have the excuse not to take him out, or I suppose if Sora did go up against Marluxia, and in the event that he failed, Axel would just come in and finish him off. It's actually, well, I mean, it's only speculation, but I mean, it's smart, and, you know, Axel does have brains where it counts. Okay. I just want to reiterate a personal story here. I was so woefully unprepared the first time I fought Axel. Needless to say, I was roasted, both verbally and, physically, because Axel is ouchie. The only thing I can say is, don't bring any fire cards in here, because if you do, well, you're a dumbass. Again, keep 0 cards on hand, and just do your best to keep up the attack. This is part of the reason why I also do stress that you build up your card points, because, again, you're going to need a lot of ice cards, and, well, basically making very liberal use of not only Blizzaga, but also strike rates, and plenty of attack cards. Because, I mean, if you are just going through the game at a relatively normal rate and doing your best to just power through the game in an afternoon, you are going to be woefully unprepared when it comes to these boss fights, because, I mean, when you run out of cards, you have to waste time to use the reloading counter, and when that happens, well, dude, you are kinda screwed. So, really, I implore you, focus on card points first, and then as the game goes on, balance between picking up slights and picking up health. I know it might be undercutting your own fun by not getting the slights first off, but again, it'll pay off in the long run, which I suppose that lack of instant gratification might be part of the reason why people don't take to Chain of Memories as much as I have. I mean, I don't want to say that, oh, well, I have infinite amount of patience and you don't. But I mean, in Chain of Memories specifically, it really does pay to strategize a little bit. And the best thing about it is that, like, I mean, I'm not somebody who employs a lot of strategy when it comes to action games. Again, I'm usually someone who'll either power through, or if there's a certain mechanic I like, you know, the gunslinger style from Devil May Cry 3, or any game past that, I'll usually stick to that, but, you know, depending on whether or not if I know how to use it well enough. But I mean, that being said, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is much in the same way. Like, I mean, the slides might be a little bit difficult to get used to at first, but I mean, if it clicks with you, you know, you will really have a lot of fun with this game, and that's the sort of thing that I hope I've implored into the rest of you who are watching, which is nobody. Which is fitting, considering that we're playing a game with nobodies. But I do really mean that. Take that, Axel. Now you are free to return to Twilight Town, eat a bit of ice cream, hang out with your best pals, Roxas and Exion, and everything will just be super. By the way, Axel's card is very fucking useful. Well, basically what it's used for is that you can use Axel's card to avoid staggering whenever you get hit, so if you want to use your attack cards, basically Axel stops you from staggering if you get hit, so you can keep on attacking despite all the pain, which is immensely useful. It is only for a limited amount of turns, as is with most enemy cards, but at the same time, you know, compared to Loxine's, it helps you run a bit faster. I'll take it. And alas, like many things in the Kingdom Hearts series, Axel keeps these tasty plot points well out of reach. And I guess he's going back to report his failure, even though Sykes told Roxas that nobody survived, because Sykes was a jealous bitch. And I kinda do mean that, because that scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 really did indicate as such, even if he did kind of have a weird redemption arc in that sort of game. But anyway, cutting directly to the boss fight of Marluxia here, because, well, might as well. This is only the first phase of his boss fight, because, spoilers, yeah, there is... Well, there are technically 3 phases of his boss fight. This is the first one you're going to be seeing here, and there is another one that I'll be showing off in the final part, as well as the ending, but there is a third phase. This is a little bit special and requires a PlayStation 2 upgrade to really maximize the power of that battle. But again, you'll be seeing that next time. For the time being, though, we actually do get to see what Marluxia's backup plan would have been if everything really did go tits up. Again, assuming that Naminé couldn't have made Sora her puppet, basically what they would have been wanting to do was destroy Sora's mind completely, so he basically became kind of similar to what Kairi was in Kingdom Hearts 1, where he was basically just inanimate, lifeless, and ready to be filled with whatever, I guess, Marluxia was going to force Naminé to put into Sora's mind. And I suppose in that sense they would have used him to take over the organization. I suppose if I could go into that in and of itself, what Marluxia and Loxine's plan was. I mean, at this stage we know for a fact that Marluxia, Loxine, Demyx, Luxord, and, well, Xigbar technically speaking, they all existed back during the time of, you know, Union Cross, which is, you know, set way far in the past and during the time when Keyblade wielders were, you know, dime a dozen. But exactly what they were doing is kind of confusing, especially in regards to the organization. I'm guessing that Xigbar/Luxu/ the Master of Masters might have something to do with this. But basically what Marluxia, what I can speculate he was trying to do was look for his sister, who, well, according to the canon of Union Cross, was killed by one of the characters in the game. And I guess Marluxia was probably trying to find out what happened to her. But I mean, even in that case, I suppose... again, there really is a lot that needs to clear the air about, because why Xehanort recruited the other 4 or 5 into their group is kind of a mystery to me. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 to reveal as such is because he knew that they were part of the ancient Keyblade society in Daybreak Town, but apart from that, we don't really have anything, and well, I mean, I haven't really been checking the Union Cross updates, and I'm not sure if Kingdom Hearts Remind, which is the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC that'll be coming in a little bit, will do anything to rectify this, but... And needless to say, despite my skepticism, I do genuinely like Marluxia and Larxene as characters, so I am interested to see, at least, whether they're nobodies or they're physical beings, you know, whether they come to discover things or how things will develop. Anyway, Riku Replica has now had a change of heart, and now he's on the side of good, kind of. I'll go into that whenever we get around to covering Kingdom Hearts Reverse Rebirth, because let's just say when he meets the real Riku, well, he's not exactly a happy bunny about the situation. And yeah, Marluxia doesn't understand the concept of being abrasive, something that even Riku understood. So now he brings out his lovely pink scythe, ready to cut us down to size. Gotta say though, like, I mean, I really do like Marluxia, and some of the organization's weapon in and of themselves, like, I mean, Axel's Chakrams are cool. I'm kinda saddened that he traded that for a Keyblade, to be honest. And Marluxia's scythe is excellent. Now, Marluxia. I think this first phase of the fight is honestly one of the harder ones. I mean, I don't want to say that the final boss is smooth sailing, but this one in particular is where he unleashes some of his more powerful attacks. Again, you will see as we go on, and that's not really helped by the fact that he has a very meaty health bar, because he can take off large chunks of your health, so it pays to be very careful. But again, depending on how you play your cards, you'll either succeed or still have a difficult time. To be honest, I do still have a difficult time with Marluxia, but with a bit of perseverance, you can defeat him, and I guess if there is anything to be said, he is a very decent challenge for a final boss. Ah, Cloud, savior of the universe, you've warmed my heart yet again. One thing I will say about Marluxia, though, is that, well, I've still never beaten his data battle in Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't know what it is, like, it's the counter gimmick that he has in that boss fight that just really gets to me. Another thing I will also point out, actually, in terms of what Marluxia has in terms of abilities as an enemy card is, he can use double slides. Basically meaning that if you have a slide set up, you can use it twice. So if you have 2 Ars Arcanums or Ragnaroks, you can use it, and it is glorious. That being said, though, considering the fact that enemy cards, especially in the late game when they become very useful, end up costing quite a lot of card points, that also means that you do have to grind for those card points in order to use it in, you know, conjunction with a lot of your regular decks, so it does create another interesting strategy element when, you know, you use the enemy cards. You know, do you sacrifice a lot of your attack cards for the sake of getting a cool buff, or do you just, you know, stick with what you got and hope the enemy card can save you in a pinch? Like I said though, the only enemy cards I think you'll really be needing is, you know, Spooky Boogies, Jafars, if you really want to use it, Axels, because, you know, that is immensely useful, and, I'm forgetting one. It was either Ursula's or... Screw it, it'll come back to me. If my memories ever get restored, which they will be in the final part, but I'll remember everything about the game, to the point where it won't matter because the commentary will be over. I love it when things work out like that. When you finally realize everything that you've done, know how to combat things, but it's too late to fix anything. Just like the tragedies of real life, when you realize your mistake, but you can't do anything to fix it. That's a life I know all too well. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo. Excuse me. But this has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts, so I will discuss... well, what is something more interesting? I'm not really sure what to say. I think in relation to Marluxia's character specifically, in terms of his portrayal, and what his role was in the organization, I'm kinda curious as to what it really was, because, I mean, the organization's hierarchy is kinda subdivided between what I guess is Xemnas being the top dog, Xigbar and, well, I guess Sykes being his right-hand man. I'm not exactly sure where the rest go, because some seem to be in more of a scholarly role, like Zexion and Vexen being, you know, scientists and everything. Then there are ones that become a little bit harder to define. I mean, I know Axel is the dirty deeds man, as I've kind of coined him at this point. And then there's also people like, you know, Alexius and Zoltan, who I guess act as heavies? I don't know, but then you kind of get to characters like Marluxia, Demix, who I believe is meant to be more of a scout anyway, so at least he has more purpose, but where the hell do Marluxia and Luxine fit into the fray? I don't know, that's kind of curious. I guess we will find out in due time, but still, Xehanort's Seekers of Darkness plan was kind of flim-flam, to say the least. I guess maybe, well, I mean, the only real explanation we kind of got was in 358 over 2 days, where I guess they were sent out to recover other nobodies. Or at least based on what Zigbar said in one of the added scenes for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, where he recalls finding Marluxia. I don't know. Confusing timelines. Anyway, another reason why this part, well, not this part, why I wanted to show off this battle in its complete form is the ability that you've seen before and will be seeing again. The ability of Trinity Limit, which is, well, I mean, against Marluxia you might not see much of a difference, but against a lot of regular enemies, it is glorious. Just wait until we have it nice and good and proper. There we go. Flip around like a breakdancer and boom! Look at that, taking off a nice chunk of his health. Actually, that kind of leads me to another funny anecdote I actually had, because I attempted to go after one of the secret bosses in Kingdom Hearts 1, which was the unknown figure, which was, spoiler alert, it was actually Xemnas, which was added as a secret boss fight. I got so close to completely beating him using, you know, Trinity Limit, which you do also get in Kingdom Hearts 1. And you want to know what happened? At the last slither of health, he killed me. In fact, I'm pretty sure I actually have it recorded as well. I was absolutely bloody livid right at the end of that. I was so close, and he snatched victory away from me. God, I was so angry. But alas, in my anger, we have defeated Marluxia for realsies. I'm sure absolutely nothing at all will happen to him. We get his double slights card, which we can use in the final battle, get Mega Flare, which is actually one of the coolest abilities in the game, and, well, I guess we've completely won forever now. What is this? Marluxia, you're alive! And yeah, he goes, oh, but you see, you just destroyed a copy of me. You know, I kind of would have liked it for a bit of a funny visual gag if you maybe saw, like, Marluxia with sores and cuts all over him and, like, bandages and shit. Maybe for a funny parody movie, maybe, but, like, probably would have been too silly. But yeah, he basically retreats behind the door and, well, this leads us to our final battle, which will be in the final part of the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories commentary. We've come a long way since then, we've made some new friends based on false memories, we've made some old enemies, but got a new frenemy out of it. And of course we've reconciled our differences with Donald and Goofy and Jiminy Jillikers. We're ready to rock. This'll be the last trip. Dun 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 dun. So on that note, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories commentary, well, we'll be killing Marluxia, saying goodbye to Naminé, and, well, seeing a little something special. Catch you later, dudes and dudettes, and I will see you next time.